Hey guys, this is Mike at Craft Beer Storm, your host and also founder brewer at the Barrel Brewing Company in glorious Portsmouth, New Hampshire. It's Wednesday again. That means we are going to do a craft beer styles segment. So what we do is go down we take the GABF list, Great American Beer Festival list of beers, and we pick one a week and we expand on it. And this week we have Light Lager, which is a very popular beer. It's it's mass produced in the U.S. and but it is a style of beer and it has its place in society. You're at a ball game, it's hot, you want a beer, you don't want something too heavy. You grab one of these. A lot of American beers fall into this category. So let's get to the description here. Cara Beer Advocate. So a light lager is generally a lighter version of a brewery's premium lager. And some are lower in alcohol, but all are lower in calories and carbohydrates compared to other beers. So it's a lighter beer. It's probably the lightest beer you can have, light lager. Typically, a high amount of cereal adjuncts like rice or corn are used to help lighten the beer as much as possible. It's very low in malt flavor with a light and dry body. And the hop character is low and should only balance with no signs of flavor or aroma. So I'm going to use hops in it to just balance the sweetness of the malt. European versions are about half the alcohol. It's 2.5 to 3.5% ABV as their regular beer. Yet show more flavor, and some use 100% malt than the American counterparts. For the most part, the style has the least amount of flavor than any other style of beer. So when you drink these beers, these are mass produced. You buy a suitcase of them. I guess you're on a porch. It's a hot day. You want to pound out a couple beers. So you go to these beers. They're lower ABV. Sometimes it's better to drink water, but, if you want a beer, you can grab one of these. If you're out to lunch during the day, you don't want something heavy, grab one of these beers. It goes with your food. All right, and there's a couple subcategories. So it's a subcategory. The first one is American Style Light Lager. And this is where everything falls under the mass-produced beer. It's Bud Light, Coors Light, PBR, Miller Lite, all those that you see on the store shelves that dominate the store shelves. These American Style Light Lager. So the color of these beers is very light to pale. It's very light. The chill haze should not be present. Should be a very clear beer. The perceived malt aroma and flavor is very low. Hop aroma, flavor bitterness is absent to very low. Body is low with dry mouthfeel, and the ABV is about 3.5 to 4.4%. So it's a very light beer. Like I said, it's an alternative to water, but if you want a beer, you take one of these. Another subcategory is American Style Amber Light Lager. And the color would be pale to medium amber. And the word light refers to a light body and reduced calories rather than color. So it's a little darker, but it still has a lighter body. The color's a little darker and has a little bit more... Yeah, it's a little bit more tasty, right? You have some flavor in there. So that's your second category. Third subcategory is German style light beer, which is spelled Leichtbier. And the translation is literally, it's German for light beer. And the perceived malt aroma and flavor, it's a little bit better. It's low to medium, and also the hop aroma flavor is low to medium. So it has a little character to it. It's not a full-on beer, but it's a little bit more. It's your alternative if you want more of a beer style. You would go for the German style light beer. What glassware do you serve it in? Right? In these, you serve it in a Pilsner glass. Right, or a Pokel. So Cara Beer Advocate, what are these types of glasses? They're typically a tall, slender, and tapered, like 12-ounce glass, shaped like a trumpet at times, that captures the sparkling effervescence and colors of a Pils while maintaining its head. And then the Pokal is a European Pilsner glass with a stem. That's what a Pokal is. And benefits. Showcases the color, clarity, and carbonation, promotes head retention. So it's kind of like a champagne, you know how it's clear? Like Miller says that they're champagne of beers, right? It's a very clear a beer, and it has usually has a head on it. So it's refreshing, right? If it's a hot day, or if you just want something lower ABV. And there's your description. Some examples, courtesy of Beer Advocate. Is Molson Canadian Lite, which is Molson Coors Canada, and it's brewed by Molson Coors Canada in Ontario, Canada, at molson.com. And this style is the American Light Lager, right? They're still American. The Canadian is North America, right? Alcohol by volume is 4% ABV. And notes, Canadian Light maintains the same character as Molson Canadian, which is slowly fermented to provide a light beer. So it's a longer process to do these lagers. The yeast takes a longer time. You need to leave it in the fermenter for a longer time at a lower temperature. That way it has to do its thing, sometimes for weeks. But it takes a long time and produces this clear beer. The other example is German light beer. From the brewery, and the brewery's in California at thebrewery.com. And this style is a European pale lager. And ABV is low. It's a very sessionable beer, 3.2. And that's pretty much, your light lager. These are these mass-produced beers in America, but other countries are producing these. They're, lower body, lower hop aroma, but they are an alternative beer. People don't want a heavy beer, but that's that category, light lager. So if you like what we're doing, you like our podcast, please go on to iTunes, give us a rating, give us a review. Craft Beer Storm. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, iTunes, Stitcher. We're all over the place. So go on to iTunes especially and give us a rating and review. That would help me out tremendously. The only way to get us up in the rankings. And if you got any questions, Michael at craftbeerstorm.com. If you go into the Craft Brewers Conference, in Denver on April 8th through 11th, I'll be there. So shoot me an email. Let's connect. Let's grab a beer and talk. I will be recording as well, so if you want to get on the podcast, you want to arrange something, let me know. I think there's some rooms available, so we could duck into a room, or I'll have it mobile with me, and we can kind of have a chat about your business, or what you're trying to do, and if you're a brewer, I'd love to know your experiences and what you have to say, and we can get that on the podcast. So that's my story for today. That's Light Lager. I hope you have a great rest of the Wednesday day. And we'll see you guys on Friday. Take care.